That's your Christmas gift. Enjoy it.
I know you're joking, but you actually gave me a pretty great gift.
Yeah? What's that?
The gift of believing in myself.
Gross. You got anything for me?
Oh, yeah. Lower expectations.
Yeah, I don't think some random loss in December is going to make the fans feel worse about us.
Really? Mine would.
Well, we don't burn our city to the ground after every loss.
Oh, that's Vancouver.
Oh, well, we don't trash our arena when we lose.
Pretty sure that was Edmonton.
We don't fight opposing fans on the way out of the arena.
New York.
Dang it. Ooh, we don't throw our jerseys on the ice.
That was every Canadian franchise?
We don't get so drunk that we fall into the penalty box and then fight the player in there.
Philly.
We don't antagonize our players to the point where they climb over the glass into the stands and start beating the fans with their own equipment.
Oh, we do.
There's something wrong with you.
Low quality fans of a high quality Bruins team. That is a dub. That's a good one. Oh, that's a good dub right there. That's a spicy dub. It's an effective dub. And dare I say it, it's a dub that we've been waiting for. Right? I mean, have we not? We've had some decent dubs over the past 4 weeks now or so. But this is against a team that we're going to talk a bunch about in a minute. This might be kind of a long video. But against a very good team. Like a top of the league team. Like the best team in the league in point percentage team. This was a huge, unbelievable, excellent win. And we'll get into some reasoning for all this stuff. But there is something I wanted to say before we actually started. Because I know in the beginning of the video, there's more attention, and I know not everyone makes it all the way through. Like, comment, subscribe. Nailed it. No. This time of the year is really hard for a lot of people. It's a great time of the year. It's a celebration for a lot of families. But for a lot of people, not to make this negative, because it shouldn't be, but a lot of people, it's hard. It's hard for a lot of reasons. And I'm not going to get into all the reasons, but I mean, I used to have a tradition on Christmas, which was I would lie to my friends, family, and job and say I had plans with one of the other three. And when the house was empty and everyone was gone and everyone thought I was with somebody else, because people really don't like it when you're on your own for Christmas, I would go buy a bottle of Jameson or Crown, and that was my day. By the end of the day, the bottle was empty. I was feeling a certain way. And hey, some of my best Christmases were spent that way. Also, some of my worst. Some of my most dangerous. This time of the year is hard for a lot of people. And I want to focus on the good, but I don't know why, but I feel compelled to give this message this year. And I know I'm just some random guy on a YouTube channel, but to those of you who are having a more difficult holiday season, for whatever the reason might be, you might not know it or feel like it, or you might know that the opposite is true. It's not. You are very loved, and you matter in a lot of lives. And I've learned as I've gotten older, because I'm now in my 30s now, you don't always know who's in your corner. You might not realize for years, and you might not realize who was always there. You just couldn't see them, or they didn't make themselves well known. But you are very much cared about, and you deserve to be that, and you deserve to be loved. And as difficult as this time of the year can be for a lot of us who have to either remember certain struggles or losses or going through those things currently, it's also a good time to remind yourself that, I mean, next year could be completely different, and it could be way, way better. I'm not good at these kinds of messages, clearly, but something telling me to say it this year. I don't know. But seriously, for each and every one of you, you are very loved, and you deserve to be happy, and I really hope that this holiday is just fantastic for you. I mean, it started with the Bruins win, so how much better can it possibly get? That's a terrible segue, but we're going to move on from it. Thank you for indulging me. Guys, this was such a massive win. Let's talk about this Capitals team for a moment, shall we? Also, a little note before that. If Swayman's going to start stealing games, I made this note before the game, this would be a really great place to start. The Capitals are the #1 team in the league in point percentage, in standings point percentage. They score the most 5-on-5 goals per game with over 3.1 goals per game. They allow the 10th fewest 5-on-5 goals, under 2.3 a game. Their penalty kill further helps on that regard, being 6th best in the league. In fact, the only perceived weakness of this team is their 17th ranked, not that even that bad, ranked power play. Taking into account all strengths, meaning shorthanded, power play, even strength, all of that, only one team in the league scores more goals per game, which is Tampa. And only 3 teams allow fewer, Jets, Devils, and Kings. Meaning they're top 5 in putting the puck in the net and keeping the puck out of theirs. That's a really good duo of strengths right there. The goaltending isn't elite, but it's certainly very strong, with Thompson posted a .914 save percentage and a 2.4 goals allowed average through 17 games, and Lindgren, who's been slightly above average because save percentages are down across the league, a .905 save percentage through 16 games. That's who we will get. The Bruins are oftentimes going to get backup goaltenders because our offense just isn't really that great. So, how are they doing this, right? Directly after a year where they were largely considered one of the worst playoff teams of the salary cap era with a negative 40-something differential going into the playoffs. Is it weird to say that they just want it more? Is that weird to say? It is. It is weird to say. And it's trivializing to imply that this just comes from a team that's just, trying harder. That's not what's really happening. But it is rare to see a team that rolls 4 lines the way that they do. Don't get me wrong, they have their superstar players. Ovechkin, when he's healthy, has been putting up Ovechkin numbers. And then Karlsson, who's on the back half of his career, but certainly still a very effective defenseman. But who beyond them, at least in the offseason, are you looking at in this roster going, wow, star player, right? Doesn't matter. Strome, Protas, and McMichael are all hovering around a point per game. Dubois, bounce back season, really enjoying this year for himself, has 25 points and is just worlds away from the player he was while he was struggling out west. Wilson looks like one of the better role players in the game, and that's not even fair to call him a role player because he's a excellent scorer. He's an excellent top 6 player. So role player is the wrong way to categorize him, but he's certainly on the higher end of guys that you'd want on your team currently, especially after signing that huge extension where we went, oh, what? It's worked out well for them so far. They just have a ton of guys that are really, really good. And then their bottom 6 is filled with guys who feast on less disciplined teams. Kind of lines that will just put the work in. And if they catch you sleeping, they're going to make you pay for it over and over again. You just can't fall asleep against these guys. First line through the 4th. If you aren't focused, they're going to get you. That's just the way they've been playing this year. And it doesn't matter how big of a lead you build, they seem to always come back. According to Natural Stat Trick, they have 9 different forward-line combinations that they've used for over 30 minutes of 5-on-5 play. Only one of those line combinations has a negative expected goals against, and in reality, that line is broken even in goals scored versus goals allowed. The other 8 combinations haven't just been good, most of them have been dominating the expected goals battle and the actual goal differentials on top of it. Also, they have 5 defensemen who I would consider top 4 quality, and a few more who are absolutely NHL players. They just have a true, authentic NHL player at every single position played on their team. I know that seems a little bit like, yes, it's the NHL, they should all be NHL players, but I think you know what I mean by that. True bona fide, you belong in the league no matter what kind of situations. All that being said, I don't believe in the Capitals when it comes to the playoffs. And look, do I have a reason for it? Not really. I just have a really hard time buying into this team for some reason. It's a feeling thing. That is, Capitals fans, don't get mad at me, because that is exactly what you want to hear. That is exactly what you want to hear. You want to hear this idiot here being like, I don't believe in him. And you're like, good, don't. We're going to keep winning. For the Bruins, no line changes. Marchand, Lindholm, Coyle, Geeky, Zaka, Pasta, Brazeau, Frederick, Wallstrom, Beecher, Costello, Kepke, Zadorov, Mack, Osterley, Carlo, Lohrei, Peak, Swayman. I like to think that's just because there is a freeze on the roster movements and everything due to Christmas, so that's the only reason Patra hasn't been called back up. Let's talk about this game. Puck drops! 3:40 in. A great opportunity, and I'm highlighting this for a reason. Great opportunity on a 3-on-2. Executed well. As Coyle in the middle pushes it to Lindholm, slightly off to the right, slightly behind him, who has Marchand wide open on the left side, and he's going to pass it to him right in Marchand's skates. Marchand can't corral it, no shot taken. Lindholm, for the whole first period, and I was going to put it in my period notes on Twitter and everything, but I decided not to, because it didn't feel quite right, because there's other things that were more important to talk about. But Lindholm had a really tough first period. He really did. A lot of the little plays that he's often praised for that I sometimes don't really buy into as much with him. I mean, he's passing back into our defensive zone poorly, creating more chances for the Capitals. Like, he chucked it right into Osterley's skates at one point when we were already in the neutral zone. Just really weird. There was a lot of offensive plays where the puck just died on his stick. A lot of plays in the first period where I was like, what is up with this guy? Like, I know I'm not a big fan of him, but Jesus, dude, what are you doing? I just wanted to point that out because of how much of a hero he's going to play in this game. 7:58 in. Lohrei goes for tripping. We're going to the penalty kill. We kill it. 2:07 left. Faravai. Yeah, gets Beecher in the numbers into the boards. It's a boarding call. I think this is the right call because it's a minor, because it felt like this was enough numbers, not enough of a hit to truly, and not a dangerous enough distance from the boards to truly be like this really dangerous hit. So I was fine with the 2 minutes. We're going to get to another boarding call later. So we're going to go on the power play. 47 seconds left of the power play. Brazzers does what Brazzers does, man. Brazeau gets to the net front. The Bruins take the zone with a nice Lohrei play on the line as he bumps it down the left wall for Pasta to catch up to. He catches up to it, hits the brakes, swings it up to Lohrei back at the point. Lohrei's going to move it to Geeky, who's going to skate into the high slot, hammer this on net. And Brazeau is right in front of Lindgren. Rebound gets to him. He's able to chip it underneath his blocker arm because he's actually left-handed. But he chips it under the arm. It gets in. It's 1-0 on a power play goal. At the end of the period, the shots are 6-3 Boston. And the score is 1-0 Boston. We allowed 3 shots. Pretty good. Pretty good. If you hear any stuff, my neighbor's doing fireworks. My neighbor loves fireworks to the point where you think there's something wrong with him. It's pretty interesting. Anyway, we're going to the second period. 3 minutes in, Carlo makes contact with Wilson on a dump in. And boy, I think Wilson was dead on the ice for probably 45 seconds, that poor guy. Played the rest of the game. He goes down real easy. The thing is, Carlo did make contact with him away from the puck. Like, this is interference. It was just sold incredibly pathetically by Wilson. So I'm going to criticize it. We're going to the penalty kill. Looks like we might get out of this. 10 seconds left of it. Puck is moved from the left wall to the left point, down to Verana, who's at the top of the right circle, and it's a huge one-timer. It beats Swayman, blocker, shoulder. Swayman gets a piece and in. I'm not going to harp on this too much because it's the only goal that Swayman allowed. Spoiler alert. Swayman got there, got settled, saw the puck as it's coming to him. This is a howitzer of a shot. A beautiful, gorgeously placed, heavy shot. This is not a save that he should have. But I'm not going to lie. I went, dude, you saw it the whole way. You're in position for it. You're ready for it. An $8 million goaltender make that save? It's not fair. It's not fair. He shouldn't make that save. But he's just paid like a guy that once in a while make the save that you're not supposed to. That's like, make the save other than the ones that you should save, right? I'm not going to harp on this because, again, it's the only goal he allowed. I had that reaction initially. And I think it's fair to point out that was my initial reaction. I think it's a bigger explanation of like, this is where I'm at with him right now. I love Swayman. I love him. This season, he's making it very challenging for me to love him. It's 1-1 on a power play goal. Midway through the second, Pasta's going to go down the tunnel after a little bit of contact. Not a big hit or anything, just make some contact in the neutral zone. I know he had an upper body injury recently that he's been working through. He goes down the tunnel. He's not going to return. Maybe they just went, screw it. It's like, we've got the break coming up. Let's get this guy right. We're going to need him. So he was, through the first 30 minutes, 24, 25 minutes, he was a mess, man. Couldn't hold on to the puck. He was all over the place. So I genuinely think he's being bothered by an injury, and this rest will only be good for him. 7:56 left. Roy trips Zaka. We're going to the power play. This is another bad call. This is a really bad call. But we're going to go power play. We don't score on it. Shots are 13-2-7. We're going to go to third period. It's a tie game. It's a tie game 1-1. Third period against the best team by Stadium's points percentage in the league. Don't do anything incredibly stupid to start the period. 10 seconds in, Wahlstrom says, no, I'd like to. He's going to drive Faravari into the wall from a dangerous distance and from behind. It doesn't look like an intentional result of the play. This is not a ton of contact. There could have been a slippage of a skate. I get all of this. The distance from the wall, the contact directly to the numbers, this to me was a 5-minute major. I hate the ref going, well, because of the injury to the player who played the rest of the game, he did take face first, he got cut, everything like that. I really hate that the injury plays a role in what the call is. That doesn't make a ton of sense to me in a game like this. But I think contact to the numbers, that distance from the boards, where the player's head goes right into the boards after, I think that's a major. I know people will bring up all these reasons why I'm wrong about that. But if I switch those two, I'm calling for a major every time. That's how I see it. Is if hey, was a Bruin hit like that into the boards? I think it's a major. Don't think it's the same as the Beecher hit from earlier in the game. I don't. So I was really fine with this call. Not only do the Boston Bruins, after I'm fuming because I'm I can't believe we had this play 10 seconds into a game we have so much to prove. Not only did they kill it, they didn't allow a shot. 5-minute penalty kill. Didn't allow a shot. I know they're missing Ovechkin. I didn't even mention it yet in this video, but I know they're missing Ovechkin. Didn't allow a shot through 5 minutes of a penalty kill. And in the dangerous moment after the kill was done, when they're still in our zone, they did get a shot on net, but nothing during that penalty kill. Crazy. 7:16 in, Dubois for a blatant interference. Somehow Lindholm's also going with him to the box. The referees really were killing me in this one. Again, didn't disagree with the major, but man, it felt like the Caps got some better calls in this one. We're going to go 4v4 for 2 minutes. And then, well, I did say that, but then I also said that the Zaka call was terrible too. So maybe they both just got bad calls. 9:15 left. Van Riemsdyk's going to go for hooking. We're going to go to the power play. This is about as bad a power play can be without giving up a shorty, although there was one semi-scoring chance. 6:20 left. Back to even strength. Coyle, with great patience and puck protection in our D zone, spins off an attacker and clears this to the center ice where Lindholm is standing just a few feet in front of their blue line. He smartly just stops the puck and pushes it back towards center ice a little bit because Marchand's coming with speed. He's going to collect and they're going to break on a 2-on-1. Nice acceleration by Lindholm here to keep up. I thought he was going to get left in the dust, but he's right there. Marchand makes the pass to him. It's perfect. Lindholm pump fake, the slightest of pump fakes. Lindgren sells out, goes around him, dunks it into the empty net. It was filthy. It's 2-1. That's your game-winning goal. In 4 minutes left, a 3-on-1 after another great breakout. Coyle with the perfect pass to Marchand. Marchand shoots it off the post, back up. Coyle smacks in the rebound. And it is 3-1. And then with 1:22 left, Marchand blocks a shot and then gets to chase his rebound to dunk it into the empty net. 4-1. There's some penalties and stuff that happen there. We go on the power play towards the other game. It doesn't really matter. What a dub. What a statement win. Your first game note is that it's a statement win. The Boston Bruins have arrived. They are a really competitive team with the way they're playing right now. We just played a very good Capitals team and stuck with them the whole game and ended up pulling out the win. This was a statement game that the Bruins are not dead. I know we have a winning record over the past month and everything like that, but we've been waiting for a statement game against a good team that we won, that you really won. Didn't just get blown out during. This was a huge game for them and a huge game for believability for this team. We're going to get to a negative here. Frederick is an abject disaster on the ice right now. That feels harsh. But he is cratering that third line. I mean, it's by far our worst line right now. And you move Coyle to the wing on the second line, which we'll talk about in a second. Frederick over to the center and Brazeau down. Brazeau's still making a positive impact in moments. Wahlstrom, I thought, was making a positive impact till the stupid penalty. Frederick, I mean, every time he touches the puck, it's the wrong decision. I'm not even talking like poor play. He does things with it where I go, holy shit, you had 2 outlet options to spring the team, and you just flubbed it. You chose to go back. You chose to just give it away. You chuck it up the wall for an icing. I'm sitting there like, you had options. So this guy's not only just not effectively playing the game, but like his IQ disappeared. His on-ice IQ. He's not a stupid hockey player. He knows what he's doing out there. I don't know what's up with him, but the confidence is at a brutal level. He is a disaster on the ice right now. I'm hoping he plays himself out of it. This break will be good for him. But boy, it's been gross with him the past few weeks. Basically the whole season, unfortunately. He did have that one good game, though. The other game notes, the new second line of Coyle now on the wing, Lindholm and Marchand. Dominant. Just great. They've been great since they got put together. Don't touch it. Don't you dare move Coyle down to make the third line better. That second line is humming. Leave it alone. And Elias Lindholm finally looks like a guy who can be a second line center. Like a true good second line center. Leave it alone. Leave it alone. Thank you. Defense was unbelievable. That's my last note. 11 shots allowed. 11. Let me double check. Make sure it hasn't been adjusted. No. 11. They didn't take more than 5 shots in a single period. I mean, this was Swayman's easiest win of the season. Easiest by far. And again, I don't think Swayman was great, but also he didn't have a lot of opportunity to be. Most of these shots were nothing shots, too. Just awesome. Awesome team effort. A lot of blocked shots. Just exactly what you want to see. Anyway, guys, that does it for me. Like, comment, subscribe. Got you with it again. Gosh, the season of giving all this stuff. I can't tell you how much I appreciate each and every one of you. I love you guys. The season's so tough. Not the hockey season. I mean the Christmas season. So tough. The holiday season. I don't know. I look forward to these, and I really appreciate all of you so much. So, thank you. Thank you for everything. Go Bees. Go Bees! And now it's time to say thank you to the high-quality inspectors. I appreciate each and every one of you. There's over 100 of you at this point. And I love doing these thank yous at the end, but I think we're reaching such a volume that I have to rethink this strategy because you're all so incredible and so supportive. But this is getting really long, and there's got to be a better way, right? But let's start the thank yous, of course, with the top line tier. Dampen, Chris and Erica, Negev79, Trial Exotic, Jeff McGugan, Brad Yaati, Andrew Peterson, Zenon Noel DeGuy, Donald Shelton, Anakin Palpatine, The Rat 63, Lola Cattingsworth, EKM Productions, Moonlighter TV, Big Bad Bruin, The Bugman, Adam Ella, Jeff with a G, Tommy Braga, Roland 22, GD Viperworks, Len Cruz, Brock Nope, Han Slomo, Coach D, The Atomic Lizard, Bradley Johnson, Brett Arney, Pincent, and Nick Zatrullo. Thank you so much, each and every one of you. You're absolute legends of this channel, and you're very appreciated. And now, of course, to our all-star tier members. Lorenzo Wood, Jake Brower, Penny Pasta, Levi Catalani, Boston Stringler, Bagel, Jacob Pratt, Nightmare Eco, John Kirk, Ann Hustis, Joel, Heil E. Coyote, Darren Woodbury, Abraxion, Michael DePaulo, Wolf Warrior, Vinny, Adrian Winter, Tupton D. Tashi, Bruin Smash, DeKingery, The Only Newts, A Tasty Snack, Doots42, and Jeremy. absolute stallions. Every single one. Thank you for supporting the channel. Thank you for being a part of the channel. I cannot express my gratitude. Go Bees.